All right, there's 3 calves born overnight. The one born at dark and then 2 more overnight.
Meet the Peterson family. Our dad, the 3 Peterson brothers, and our families farm together in central Kansas. Our family farm started in 1882 and has been raising cattle and crops ever since. Please subscribe to this channel and give us a like and a comment if you enjoy the video.
3 more tagged today. That cow over there, she wasn't very happy with me, but I snuck in the back, got her calf tagged while she was up at the bunk eating. We're getting real close to them slicking off all this green back here and moving them across the road. So there'll be 40 pair to do that, or maybe by the end of the week. But if corn harvest keeps us too busy, we won't be able to do that. Some nice calves born in the last 24 hours. There's the other one born. Nice calf. We are well over halfway now. Quite a few pairs to take care of now. There's what the cow ration looks like. It is just hay, cane silage, about 15% wet distillers, just to kind of get them used to coming in the bunk so we can catch them one day. I'm just feeding them 20 pounds a head once a day. All right, got the base of the bin all locked away, so I can close the door. And the grain will fall in through the top.
Chores are happening. We got 2 loads cut Saturday night. It's Monday morning. Time to fill the Sioux Steel grain bin. Got it cleaned out last week. Got the sweep greased up, looked over, and everything should be ready to go. Here's our big pile of feed that's half covered. We're gonna leave it that way. This jack is a little stiff, man. Ah, that's annoying. There we go. Uh-oh. It's kind of close. If I can go down. 2-handed jack this morning. But we got it. There we go. Might need some oil. Alright. I think I'm ready to back her up there. Went and got my tarps from my house to put underneath. Alright, we got our high-tech pit set up. There always seems to be a little bit of mess. We don't have the fanciest setup, but it gets the job done. And let's go back up that load. Okay, so we got the bin filling, and now you probably think, Nathan, why aren't you in the combine? Time to pick corn. Well, the wheat stubble has volunteer wheat growing on it from all the rain we've had. We've already killed 1 flush of volunteer wheat, but it's just the way it goes, especially with this we had that cool weather and the cool rain. And we need to get this volunteer wheat killed because it can carry disease over to our next wheat crop where we're going back to wheat. So we don't want to pass that to our neighbors, and we don't want to pass it to ourselves, obviously. So we're like 3 weeks away from wheat drilling. We want all this volunteer wheat dead for ideally, I think, 3 weeks, but definitely at least 2 weeks. So I'm making it a priority because we have more chances of rain on Wednesday or Tuesday night, and this wheat stubble's already kind of soft. So Kendall got those 2 truckloads unloaded, and now Dad and him are picking corn. We also have some cow things to do, but it's just, you know, one of those weeks where we can just do things one at a time. So they'll do some cattle stuff in the mornings, I'll do some spraying in the mornings, and we'll get as much corn cut as we can and see how it goes. Greg is at a speaking event in Vegas or something, so give him a hard time about that, no. But he'll be back and be able to help us. My father-in-law helped a little on Saturday and might be able to help us some tomorrow. The corn is like the perfect moisture to go in the bin. We don't really need to be in a huge rush because I would guess the irrigated is still a little ways away. Even like our neighbor that we planted for really early, his irrigated was like 19, but it needs to go to the elevator, and at the elevator they want it like below 15. Well, update, we needed more tarps. We had a shear pin shear, so got a little bit of a mess. We're picking it up. All right, it's rolling in really good. This is the best dryland corn we've raised, but we haven't been raising it that long. I mean, we used to always chop it.
Bring the first couple loads of corn. That's number 2. Whole bin on one pass. Got a 12-row head on there this year though. A 73-acre piece. Got the 3rd load bin. I also got a call from, well, text. From my order buyer. He got some calves for us in Belleville today, since we missed out last Thursday from El Dorado. We'll have just under 60 head coming tonight, and hopefully by then we have quite a few loads of corn bin. This was the 3rd load, and I'm gonna head back down. My dad's coming up with the Kenworth. That'll be the 4th load, and then we'll go down together and keep picking. Greg is going to be in Utah this week. Well, he's already there, but he'll be there for several days. My dad and I will really be trying to do the corn. Nathan has a little bit of spraying to do each morning, and then he's going to help us with corn each afternoon. We have some cow stuff that we need to move onto some new green growth. That we'll also try to get done in the mornings as the week goes on too. So that's a demo 12-row Macron C3012. We're really liking it so far. Nathan got the settings right for it, and it is eating the corn. This field fertilized it with 140 units. So it would be pretty nice if it made over 150. So we can't quite make it the whole path, so he cuts out a section for me to pull alongside next to him. And then I pull up, he unloads, and then I'll get out of his way and he'll keep going.
We're doing work now. So I actually opened up the deck plate spacing some because this is better corn. I noticed it needed opened up a little. So it's real nice to be able to do that. I mean, all the new corn heads have that compared to our old one, but that was nice to do, and it's working good. We disengaged the stalk chopping, so you can engage it and disengage it. It has some chopping blades underneath there. All right, I got a phone call, so I got distracted from whatever I was saying. We got Henley riding with me. I think Owen's gonna trade her off. I mean, get some supper.
Well, my mom just brought me a loaded truck right as I was finishing up this one, so I didn't even have to hop back in. She just hopped in that one to get it out of my way, putting the hoist down, and I'll pull up with the next loaded truck. Okay, people call these bees wings. What do you call them?
All right, we're done for the night, so we can get chores done. We got a lot of this field done, so should be able to finish tomorrow. Move on to the next one, see if it's dry enough.
Some real nice ballers out of Belleville. Nice jet black to them. Looks like they're up at the bunk. I'm not sure there's anything in the bunk. Maybe a little bit left over from the group that was in here. But they'll be noisy tonight. I put a little hay in the bunk while binning corn. Almost got the tanks full. We are half full. There are 3 rings basically full. And so this cow is 10 years old. I bought her as a 5-year-old, but she's got the year she was born. They came born in 15 and 16, so she's number 1533. She's got a real big bag hanging low to the ground that the calf has figured out how to nurse out of, but she'll be on the coal list for after she raises this calf. Sometimes causes problems, especially for bigger calves getting down there low enough to nurse out of it. But especially since she'll be 11 years old by next spring. But she's raised 5 calves for me. This will be her 6th calf. I bought her for $1,600, and now she's probably worth $3,000. Plus she's raised me 5 calves, so she did good. All right, today's the day. We are heading out onto that fresh sedan growth right here across the fence. We're gonna go through that gap. I actually had it open for the last 10 minutes and they didn't walk out the gate. Bringing the cows off the native grass and onto some standing sedan grass. Lots of good eating for them. This is 13-acre mix here. 13-acre field. There's the tail enders back there. Hopefully they figure their way out here and I don't have to chase them. We got some nice grass on this side, a lot of leaves on this side, and a lot of corn in the bin. I think we're probably between 4 and 5 rings full.
Combine's full.
Almost done. We're keeping track of the loads here. We print each load, the weight of each load. That's how we know what we put in the bin. We're cutting it at about 16 to 18% moisture. The out rounds were like 15, 16, but out in the middle where it's better, it's definitely a little wetter, but that's a real good moisture to go in the bin.
Whoa, Bessie. Okay, it's loaded, but I don't know if Kendall will be back yet or not. No, the Kenworth is empty, but yeah, I guess we might fit the rest of this on the trucks we have. Kendall was trying to finish up some moving some cows. Mom's gonna take that truck and bring back the Kenworth, the tandem. Oh, there's a bump. But the rest of this might fit on this white semi and the Kenworth. So it narrowed up. We got a lot done last night. We already started our bin fan. We'll start pulling dry and cool air, cool all this corn down and get it dried out. We have chances of rain, but I've heard you should just keep your fan running even if it's raining, which is interesting to me, but to keep pushing just keep it moving so you don't get one spot of moisture. It also helps that we feed out of our bin all year long, so we keep the grain moving and then that mixes it some. So we'll run the fan now, and then when it gets cold, 30 degrees or 40 degrees at night, we'll run it again at nights. But we'll try to get the corn dried down now and down to 60 degrees, and then when it gets cold, we'll get it nice and cold. So it's pretty nice to have that full drying floor on the bin and just be able to have that flexibility to start harvest because this corn is still really good quality even with all that rain we had, but we're gonna have more rain, and rather than let it get so dry and then you lose more harvesting because it can shatter easier, so harvesting it a little wetter, we get more bushels in the bin. You don't lose as much to drying. So wherever a lot of corn is grown, it's a pretty common practice to have your own bins with a drying floor, and like in big time, or like farther north, they have dryers that they actually run the corn through and dry it. And they can dry it from like 28% moisture, where in Kansas, you know, typically we can dry things down in the field pretty easily because we have a lot of dry days, we have dry air. We have a long growing season. It's not worth the cost for us to have a dryer. We just have a 20,000 bushel bin, pretty big for us, bigger than anything we had before, but probably pretty small for like a guy that grows a lot of good corn. So everything we have past the bin, we have to wait to get below like 15% to haul to the elevator so we don't take too much of a dock. So on this, I get going and I start my load. And I keep track of what truck I'm on, although we don't always do the best switching that, but we can show what truck we're on and how much we put on each load, and it prints like the time and the field, and then we'll take that on a jump drive back to the computer and print out a report, so that's pretty handy to have. So it's hard to fill a truck and film, so I didn't, but got it full, then I hit stop and it printed it. So I think we're going to try to do something a little crazy here. We're going to hopefully get this field fenced in the next few days and wean our spring calves and get those spring cows out here to graze for probably like a month, and then we'll pick up the fence, or take the cows off, pick up the fence, and drill it to wheat, because we want to drill this to alfalfa next fall. It would be good for our cows to be able to graze it, and us, and it would lessen some of the residue to drill wheat into, and we still have like a month and a half to be able to drill wheat. So here it is, all folded up, ready to drive down the road. Narrower than the duels. Alright, we made it to the next field. This is the field that we pump our lagoon out on through a pivot. It's not as good soil, but some of it's gotten irrigated, so it will be interesting to see how it compares to that field we were just on. It also is a longer day corn, so we'll see if it's dry, but I think it will. It also basically tasseled at the same time, so I didn't push this one quite as hard. Well, I put the same amount of nitrogen on under the pivot and less on the corners as that other field, but that other field is really good soil, some of our best soil. Anyways, just a little different situations, but we'll see how this one does.
Shot of the header there. This is some out rounds. It's not the best corn. No. We're already sitting up there. We already put over 4.5 rings full. One field. Brought out the empty truck. They are picking over there. We are just a 1/4 mile from my yard where the bin is, so I can see the heaping yellow already in this truck from the bin right there. So I'm gonna have to do the hauling myself. We don't have my mom here to help today, but it's a really close haul, so hopefully I can keep up. All right, I just fired up the fan. It is a warm day today, but you start moving some dry air, pumps it through the floor, pushes it out top through those vents. This corn is pretty hot going in the bin, so it'll especially help to have it on for cooler nights.
All right, we hit it hard. 28 acres done on this field, and our grain bin is full. So this is a little wetter, too wet to haul to the elevator yet, but we met our goal. We got our bin full before we got some small chances of rain. A 1/2 inch wouldn't hurt anything. Probably be good for these beans that are using all that water from all those other rains, but we don't really want another 3 inches or something, because it'd be nice to get the rest of this corn harvested. But it'll need probably a couple days. Our neighbors that we planted first might actually be closer to ready. I don't know, we'll see. But we're gonna stop for now. I actually need to spray some wheat stubble because I didn't end up doing it this morning, and work on our cattle stuff, and then we'll get back to this later.
After picking 160 bushel corn on the other side of the creek, I'm still, wondering what would happen if I'd have planted corn here. But it's still going to be some really good milo. Katie's here helping me crop scalp. There you can see the out rounds were done with a different variety, a longer day variety. And this red is a variety we also use for double crop. All right, so far it hasn't even been 12 hours since we picked that. Hopefully we can get cows on it within 48 hours.
We've got actually got a video here that kind of details a little bit about who we are and what we do on our farm in Kansas.
111, 222, 333.
Well, it's raining. It's a good thing we got the bin full yesterday, because we'd have had to quit picking corn anyway. There's the Belleville calves up eating. They seem like a pretty even set. I think they're from maybe 3 different ranches. Steers weighed right at 603, heifers weighed 584. And the numbers looked pretty good on what they could be worth in 3 months. Just gotta get them eating first. All right, we are less than 24 hours since we finished picking the corn here. So if we get this fenced in by 5 p.m., I think we'll have gotten the corn stalk fenced in less than 24 hours after picking them. We've got like 11 head ready to go on them right now. And then we're gonna preg check next Thursday, the rest of the spring herd, and we'll have 45 more. These leaves are just ready to be eaten. And the corn picked up. Cows will find corn like that and eat it right up. All right, they've definitely done a dent more in the east side here. The west side still looks pretty tall. I scheduled a preg check with these cows next week. They have 6 days to eat it all, and then I'm walking them home. Here's an overwintered turnip from last year's cover crop. Not as big as you'd think it would be. The cows will eat it. There's the cows that are gonna be ready to go on them corn stalks whenever we get them fenced. They're just eating weeds. They've been getting the silage from the feed truck. Okay, we got it fenced, so now we gotta get the wire hot. And then there'll be a 76-acre buffet for the cows. All that good eating. All right, that's a hot fence, so that's what we're gonna connect to. It runs along the back side of this pen. The weeds have been grazed out of it, but this is where they're gonna water out of, up in that corner. Well, it took it from 11 volts to 0, so I must have missed a T-post. Maybe Nathan missed the T-post, I don't know. So I gotta go figure out which T-post it's touching up on and get an insulator on there. I fixed 2 spots. One was on a T-post, another was along like where it was tied to the back side of the pen. Now it's at 6.4. So it came down from 11, but it's a much longer fence now. So I'm ready to turn those first 11 out, I think. All right, my dad's scraping pens. We got the loader taken off this M7 and we put it on the feed wagon. We decided not to turn those cows out. I was rushing, I got the fence hot. We could have turned out those first 11 head. My dad wanted to wait till tomorrow. So I'm getting chores done, and then it's a church night, a Wednesday, so gotta head there. We're having a tractor traffic jam in the feedlot. All right, it won't stop raining. We were gonna move pairs today, but we've had over a half-inch of rain over the night, and it's supposed to rain for like the next 3 hours. We have been warned by our wives that a big rainstorm is coming that's pounding Lindsborg right now, and most storms work their way northeast. And so when Lindsborg gets hit, we kind of know it's going to hit us in like 15 minutes. So they were getting a downpour on the street, and then so we're not going to be able to do what we wanted to do this morning. But I'm going to finish up. I got to feed these cow pens a little something. The feed truck had a tire that needed change this morning, so it was a little slow getting to these chores. And about 3 minutes later, there it is.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Check out our music videos linked in the description. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat, and explore our website, www.petersonfarmbrothers.com. See you guys next time.